This happened nearly 10 years ago now, so I feel like now's an appropriate time to open up. This took place in a major metropolitan area where I had been working as an intern at one of the U.S.'s larger circulation newspapers. At the time, I was 21 years old. Early on, I was introduced to most of the senior reporters. One of them was a guy I'll call Daniel. Very friendly, always stopped by my desk to joke around. Normal enough on the surface. The thing that unsettled me from day one was his voice. Soft but drawn out, like every word was being stretched slightly longer than it needed to be. Hard to explain until you heard it. Once you heard it, you didn't forget it. About a month in, Daniel asked if I wanted to grab a drink after work. Reporters taking interns out was completely normal, a mentorship thing. So I said yes without thinking twice. We met at a bar near the office. The first half of the evening was fine, just work talk, stories we were covering, nothing unusual. Then the questions changed. He started asking if I had a boyfriend, whether I was looking for one, why I didn't have one. I steered the conversation back to work, and he let it go. By the end of the night, I'd half convinced myself it was just awkward small talk from someone who didn't know better. After that, he stopped by my desk even more than before. Enough that I started to think maybe I'd misjudged him. Maybe the questions at the bar were just nerves. Final week of my internship. Daniel was on vacation, but texted saying he wanted to come in and say goodbye before I left. I thought that was considerate. I texted back and told him what time I'd be there. Tuesday afternoon, he texted saying he was waiting at the back entrance of the building. I grabbed my work badge and headed downstairs. Just my badge. No phone, no keys, nothing else. I gave him a hug, said it was great working with him. He asked me to walk him to his car in the parking structure across the street. I did. When we got there, he said he'd drive me back to the rear entrance, save me the walk. I got in the car. He pulled out of the garage, and instead of turning left toward the back entrance, he kept going straight. I made a joke about missing the turn. He smiled and said, "I didn't miss it. You're mine now." I felt everything in my chest tighten at once. I had nothing. No phone, no keys, just a work badge. I slid it between my fingers with the metal clip facing outward and told myself if I had to, I would use it. He drove south in complete silence toward the rougher end of the city. I knew that area well. I'd covered crime stories there throughout my internship, which was the only thing keeping me from completely falling apart. At least I knew where I was. He turned onto a narrow tree-lined street and pulled into the driveway of a run-down house backing onto a dark pond. He told me to get out and go inside. I did. I don't fully know why. I think I was more afraid of what would happen if I refused. Inside, I kept talking, kept filling the silence, saying anything to seem calm. He got close to me, too close, and said, "You could live here." Then quieter, right next to my face, "You know, you could." He gripped my shoulder and steered me toward the back door, said he wanted to show me the yard. The backyard was a raised wooden deck over the pond. He positioned me in the center of it, put his arm around my shoulders, and stared out at the water, saying, "Isn't this nice?" That's when I saw the neighbor, middle-aged man sitting out on the deck next door, watching us. I looked directly at him and said as loudly and clearly as I could that it was a beautiful evening, wasn't it? And held his eyes for as long as I could. The neighbor looked at Daniel and asked what he was up to. I felt Daniel go rigid next to me. He said we were just leaving, guided me back through the house and out to the car without another word. The drive back was completely silent. He was furious. I could feel it without him saying anything. When he pulled up outside the back entrance of the office, he stopped the car but didn't unlock the doors immediately. He turned to look at me, put his hand on my leg, and said, "I'll visit you when you least expect it." I got out of the car without saying a word and walked back into the building. I sat back down at my desk and stared at my computer screen for a long time. My internship ended the next morning. I packed my things, said goodbye to nobody, and left. I never went back, never responded to any messages from anyone at that paper, and moved apartments 2 months later. New city, new job, fresh start. I told myself it was just time for a change. But if I'm being honest, it's because I knew he was still out there, waiting. I don't know what would have happened to me if the neighbor didn't see us.